Howdy, I'm Grey Pilgrim. Well, another lesson in old guns. Back at the turn of the last century, and just before, there were a couple of companies. There was Merwin and Holbert, I think is their name, Forehand. There were several of these smaller companies. And there was one company named Hopkins&Allen. And what Hopkins&Allen was known for is they had the manufacturing wherewithal that they were basically building the guns for all these other guys. And they were doing like barrels under contract and stuff like that. Well, later on, they ended up, Merwin and Holbert, I forget how they say their name, but they went bankrupt, late 19th century. And Hopkins&Allen bought up what was left of them. And then Forehand, they ended up buying them in 1902, I think it was. And Hopkins&Allen, well, they ended up with some financial issues of their own. That's the thing with small gun companies. They tend to have lots of financial issues. And they had some labor relations issues. And they had all kinds of problems. If you really want to know about it, read the Wikipedia article. It's probably the best source you can find for stuff on them. Well, the other big thing was around 1916, Hopkins&Allen went under like everybody else. And they lost out. Their manufacturing equipment and stuff that they had left over was bought up by Marlin. Well, but before all that, see, Hopkins&Allen, they had a factory fire. Their warehouse where they had stored all of their made stuff was burglarized, and all of their stuff was stolen. But before all that, here's a Hopkins&Allen. This is a 32 rimfire I've had for years, and it's called I can never dang remember the damn thing. First of all, get my glasses on, and then let me get this magnifying glass out. It's called a number 3, an XL number 3, whatever that is. It's a typical spur trigger, single action rimfire, and it works. I've got some rimfire ammo, and I've actually fired this a couple of times. Matter of fact, I bought this to buy some ammo because I wanted some 32 rimfire for my Frank Wesson rifle, and I bought this just to get the ammo that it was being offered with. But the pistol itself, by the way, this is nickel plated, but that's old, faded, and falling apart nickel. It was not. This has been carried. It was roughly handled, I think. Why do I know that? Well, let me show you something else. This is an Iver Johnson. This is an early example, and I bought it as an example of the old top break pistols. See, they would, let's see if we can get it to do it. Yeah. You see the star come out and eject all the cases, so you do that little flick, and all your empties that fly out. Then you can fill it up. This is in 38 Smith & Wesson, and it's a nice little pistol. I got it mainly as an example of type. This was the pocket carry of that era. They called them Saturday night specials, I think. So is this one here, this Hopkins&Allen. Iver Johnson, by the way, it's the Iver Johnson Arms and Cycle Works, because they were best known for making bicycles, excuse me. Recently, yeah, I bought another gun. This is an absolutely pristine Hopkins&Allen from 1901. It's actually a Forehand. And this was just before Hopkins&Allen bought Forehand, because this is a 1901, and they bought it in 1902. They bought the company. So this was just, maybe months before they actually took over the business. And it's in absolutely pristine shape. This one is also it's a little stuck compared to that one. But this is also a top break. But this is in 32 short, Smith & Wesson short only. And it's a Saturday night special. But this is absolutely pristine nickel plating. And it came with this really cool looking holster too. And I just couldn't say no to that. Plus, it came with a box of ammo, which made it double specially collectible. And I like these little guns. They're just fun to play with and fun to own and fun to look at and stuff. And this one, you know, I can see myself in that silver. It's just a nickel plate, but it's absolutely pristine. It has never been tarnished or worn off in any way. It's just a really pretty little old gun, I think. You know. Anyway, like I said, go read up on Hopkins&Allen. It's an interesting company. They went under, and as I said, I think it was in 1916. But this is one of theirs from 1901. And this is one of theirs from maybe about 1898, back when they're still making 32 rimfire. And rimfire was still popular. Matter of fact, I think the last company to make rimfire ammo in the U.S. was in 1977. Or no, that wasn't in the U.S. It was in Argentina. No one makes 32 rimfire now. You can get some 32 rimfire conversion kits, in which basically it's a case cut out to 32 rimfire with an offset. And the offset is for a 22 hammer gun blank. And you shove that in there, roll it around so it's the next chamber in line, and then you can fill it with like a bullet on the front end of it, of the cartridge, and shoot it. And it works. Don't put any powder in it. Just shoot it with the blank. And anyway, that's the way they're designed to work. But I think it's like $200 per one of those little brass inserts. So a 5-shot like this, it's $1,000 just for ammo. Forget it. You know, I've got some 32 rimfire original. Yeah, some of it doesn't fire so well, but it's okay. You know, I have it. Anyway, just a discussion of these little guns. And I mean, if you weren't the rich guy who had the Colt or the Smith & Wesson or the high-end Webley or the Adams or whatever, this is what the working man would carry, because working men deserve to live too. And they have to work down there on the seedy side of town. So that's what they would carry. And that was popular back when. And you know, I like to honor them just as much as I like to honor the fancy people. Anyway, that's about all I got to say. Happy trails.